Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
What's up, everybody?
Are we starting?
Yeah, episode 2.
Is this technically 200?
201.
200
last week.
0.5.
What? It's just 201. Why is it 200.5?
It's kind of an auxiliary episode because of the movie.
You can't just put a half on this like we did for The Flash.
Okay.
This deserves a whole point.
Does it?
Yes. Episode 201. We're talking about Thunderbolts, and then we could also talk about Andor because we're caught up on that.
Yeah.
Mostly going to be talking about Thunderbolts. We just saw it a little bit ago. Overall thoughts, spoiler free. What did you think of this movie?
I went into it with.
I'm Jake. That's Tyler. Jeez Louise.
Excuse me. I went into it with fairly, I won't say high expectations. I just knew that what I had heard about it, what I knew about it, I was pretty sure that I was going to like it a lot. That there was going to be a lot for me to like. And it touched a part of me that I didn't realize that a movie could ever touch.
Yeah, I said it as soon as we were walking out of the theater, I was saying that like I felt like this movie was a lot more emotional than I expected it was going to be. I expected it was going to be funny and have some really cool action sequences. But I did not expect it to be such personal stories. Some of these characters get more shine than others, obviously, but I just think that like the development that went into Lewis Pullman's character with Bob and all that, and what they did with Yelena and how that whole story is developing. And there are some like genuine emotional scenes in this movie, which
I had read that it was that one of the things critics liked about it was how it dealt with trauma.
Yeah, and I think like again, spoiler free. It's funny how there's this bloom of this opening weekend where there's talking about, how the numbers are, but then there's also these things about I feel like every movie since Endgame, we see this fucking, is this going to save the MCU thing? I think
they're going to keep pumping them out.
No. And I don't buy into that narrative or like it's failing, it's dying, and MCU, I don't buy into all that shit. But I will say this.
MCU.
But I will say this. I think this is a very positive step in the right direction. I think we started to get that with Captain America. I just don't think we were quite there. And I honestly think Thunderbolts is the movie that really, it does kind of get you excited and interested in what's going to happen with Fantastic Four and Doomsday and all that stuff going forward. All right, you had your chance. We're 3.5 minutes in. We're going to get into spoilers. Go see the movie. Go enjoy it. It's a really good movie. So much better than I expected it was going to be. Go see it and then come back. All right, you've been more spoilers. The new Avengers. That's what we're going to end this movie with. So there was 2 things about this title. We noticed that it's like, well, where is this in the timeline? Is this related to Thunderbolt Ross? Because that's where Thunderbolts
It is. According to what I read, it's to say the one takes place in February when it came out. This one takes place in May when it comes out.
Well, yeah, because
but it's the same year.
In the first, like one of the first few
in the
scenes,
MCU timeline.
Yeah, early on in this movie, Valentina, who is responsible for getting U.S. Agent, she's the one who got Yelena to New York to try and kill Hawkeye. So she's kind of been like what they describe her as like the evil Nick Fury, like she's kind of working behind the scenes and getting all these guys to do like shadow ops work. Early on in the movie, she's being investigated. She's being impeached, because she's elected as a congresswoman, and she's being impeached. And she mentions early on in the movie that like we just had a president turn bright red into a Hulk and tore up this city. So like, okay, we are past that movie. See how easy that was. to just mention things like that.
Yeah.
I feel like, hey, maybe we're getting that there now, but yeah, this is definitely going to lead directly to Fantastic Four, and the ending of that is gonna tie right into this. And I don't know. You and I were talking about it before
Well,
it was coming out.
it spoiled what we kind of
We
already
knew that was gonna happen.
that the Fantastic Four were in another dimension.
Yeah, and it kind of lays it out in the.
But I gotta be honest, I was hoping for something different.
What else?
My
I don't
idea.
know. So
My idea was brilliant.
I think one of
You don't have to use the multiverse to do it.
Before release,
Fine, let's not talk
we're like,
about
wait
my
a minute,
idea.
that asterisk means something. So originally in the movie, you think it's talking about Yelena's soccer team that she talked about.
I thought when it was announced, I thought it was going to have something to do with Thunderbolt Ross
Right.
and with
Like they
his
weren't really his
whole
team or
thing happening.
But the big, like, so you think throughout the movie that it's the Thunderbolts thing is tied to her soccer story, of her talking about her soccer team that never won and a girl pooped on the field and like all that. And then it's even bigger twist at the end of like, no, the asterisk is because this is going to be the new Avengers.
Now, we've had multiple Avengers teams in the past. We had the Avengers and then the Avengers West Coast, or the West Coast Avengers, however you wanted to say it, because they were both called that both.
Salt Lake Avengers.
The Great Lakes
They
Avengers,
only
which
have
were
suits
not
and ties.
actually a thing.
You heard about the Avengers?
Here's the thing, like, shut up. There's a Justice League International, and then there was a Justice League Europe.
Yeah.
And did they really need a European team? Because they had an international team, but then it was like, well, no, they wanted to sell more books, dumbass. Like,
Yeah.
it had nothing to do with story. Anyway, there's been multiple Avengers teams. There's the Secret Avengers, New Avengers,
So, I mean, what do you
Avengers.
think? But what do you think this really means? Because
What I think it means is that clearly the team that we are looking at, that we were looking at, is sanctioned by the government. They're in the old Avengers Tower.
yeah.
And the other one is clearly more like the team of Avengers
like
that was on the
Steve's
run
team.
during Endgame or during Infinity War.
Well, I was gonna say more like the original idea of the team, where it was an independent team. That yes, Nick Fury got them together, but they were not actually working with. They were not actually Shield operatives. They had Shield helping them, but that that was the whole.
So let's say that Thor is part of Sam Wilson's team.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I feel like he would be.
Unless the Sentry comes out.
Well, how? Okay, so let's rewind and kind of deal with this as it goes. So we knew that Sentry was going to be in this movie. Lewis Pullman is Bob, which
Is that Bill Pullman's kid?
I don't know, but he's great. I gotta say the whole cast was great.
I'm looking it up.
I think Sebastian Stan is a great actor, but I think it's funny when he's doing he definitely has a Bucky voice.
Yes.
And he definitely drops his voice down to do a little bit more of a gruffy Bucky voice. But I think every character kind of gets their moment of shine. I think every character.
Son of actor Bill Pullman.
There you go. He is his son.
He was in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh yeah, he was the dude with the glass. He was. I know what you're talking about. Again, I think every member of the cast was great. I think Florence Pugh was great as Yelena. I think David Harbour, of course, was really good. A big shout out to Wyatt Russell, because I think Walker kind of weirdly becomes partly comedic relief in this movie, which is funny considering where his character was at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier when he murdered someone in the street.
It's interesting that when we first see the movie and the movie opens up and the typical Marvel logo is replaced with just this blackness, this absence of sound, and you've seen the previews, so you know that has something to do with what's going on in the previews with the people, being turned into like shadows, if you will. And we see Yelena, and she's like, there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with me, and there's a hole inside whatever. I thought it was my sister, and I want to touch on this because a lot of us feel like this. Yeah. A lot of us feel like there's something wrong with us. There's a void or something inside. And at the end of the movie, when they go to all hug Bob, to stop him from just beating the shit out of the void or whatever all that is, and he just relents and cries. I I feel like that a lot. Like I don't matter. That none of what I do in this world is going to make a difference, and if that I didn't exist at all, that it wouldn't. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that. I've been single for 3 years. I am lonely a lot, and this movie really struck a chord in me because I never thought I would see what I feel inside on a movie screen, and it really hit me pretty hard.
Yeah, I think I was also taken aback by how in some dynamics it's also relatable and with what Red Guardian deals with him, like that moment with her after the void comes out and there's all this shit going on, or like they fight this, the void doesn't come out yet, they just fought the sentry, he beat their ass, he let them live and they left because he's like, I'm not gonna kill them because they're not a threat to me, because they helped him break out of this prison that they were going to, because they all ran into each other because Valentina felt
Well, we know later
coming up,
that
but
Bob would have survived
sure,
the
but
incinerator.
but anyway, like that scene where she says, when she's talking to Red Guardian, and she says like, you know, you didn't talk to me for a year after Natasha died, and he's like, I didn't think you wanted me, and she's like, well, I did.
Well,
and I think
he has a breakdown
hold
where.
on. And I think that in and of itself is extremely relatable, because I've had those thoughts about my own parents and my own thoughts of like, everybody's had that moment where your parents just fall short.
Well,
and that's not necessarily his fault.
It's beautiful when he says, "I'm not good at this."
Yeah.
He tries to be like, he tries to make excuses like we all do.
Right.
But when you're honest to people, and when you deal with them honestly and vulnerably, it might not feel great every time, but it ultimately is the best option. I just don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not good at this. Help me with this. I don't know. What do you want from, maybe not like that, but just to say, hey, I don't know. To be vulnerable like that is powerful in this world.
But it's again, credit to this movie being so much better than I thought it was going to be. It's so much deeper than I would have imagined. To have those thoughts in these moments in this movie, where it is a moment of you have a moment of sadness because you understand both characters' perspectives, and you have, most people, I mean, if you have kids, yeah, but like most people have been in both situations, because relationships can be complicated, and people are hard to people are hard to understand sometimes, and things just happen, and like they always didn't have the best relationship, the two of them. So like I understand his point of view, like I didn't know you wanted me because you've always been so distant from me and everything. And then like her crying about like she was so young, and him just going like you all were. And like him being there to reassure her like a parent, and being like, look, this isn't your fault. Like
sometimes all it takes is just one person being honest with the other.
Yeah.
Sometimes a lot of people are not honest because they feel like, I mean, how many times have I not reached out to somebody because I felt like they didn't want to hear, or they were too busy or whatever? Like, how do I know that if I hadn't just reached out that they would have been like, oh, awesome, I'm so glad. I was just waiting for somebody to, I mean, there's so many instances in our lives when we don't recognize that this probably happens. And all it takes is just one of the people to say, hey, I'm not sure if you want me to contact you, but I'm reaching out because I want you to know I'm here. Sometimes people will say, I'm not going to do even that because I don't want to seem needy, or I don't want to be whatever, or this or that.
Yeah.
And what we're failing to remember is that, we're thinking about a minor embarrassment, and they could be thinking about something way heavier.
Yeah.
So take the moment. And, getting past all of the themes and stuff, I thought it was interesting that the vault scene in the beginning. First, let's break down the fact that why the fuck did we just get rid of Taskmaster?
Yeah,
I mean, that was pretty shitty.
what a strange bait and switch, bait and switch,
Bait and twerk.
To have her on the poster, have her name on the marquee, have her marketed with her, and then just fucking.
She shows her face
murk
once.
her in one sequence, one time. She says
in 3
she
minutes.
has one line. She says, "I'm not
here
after
for you."
you. I'm not here for you," and that's it. And then she just fights, and then just gets fucking point blank murked.
The fact that they were all the fact that was almost the first half of the movie was them getting out of the vault was kind of neat and unexpected to me. So they meet in there and they all obviously it's pretty clear from the moment from the word go that every one of them has been told to go after one of the other ones, right? So like she's there to watch Ghost. U.S. agent is there to get Yelena. Taskmaster is there to get U.S. agent. You know, They're all after each other. The idea is they all kill each other, and then the incinerator burns them all up, right?
Yeah.
And so they figure out at a certain point, which we figure. I don't know about you, but I figured it out like right away.
Oh, that they were gonna get burned.
As soon as the third person came in, I was like, "Hey, do you think maybe she sicked you all on each other?"
Yeah.
But they just keep going. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it was entertaining, but anyway, so they finally figure it out, and but then they figure out that, oh shit, we're stuck, and at some point during the fight, a box gets opened, and this guy pops out, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he's like, "I don't know, I'm Bob," you know, and they end up figuring out a way by working together how to get out of the incinerator.
They make this giant climb up this elevator.
But this is an underrated one. The elevator shaft whole sequence was really fucking great, I thought.
Yeah.
It was well done. It's not something you see in movies a lot, and it's kind of a tough thing. You're like all relying on each other,
and it looks awful. I wouldn't do that.
No, right? I mean, you don't know. Like if that's the only way out, and you were with 3 other people, you wouldn't try.
I mean. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm not a mercenary.
Hopefully
I'm not a mercenary.
Hopefully you're never in that situation. Hopefully you're never a mile underground.
I'm also not a mercenary.
Right. But that whole sequence I thought was really underrated. Again, I think it was just pretty clever. But I think another underrated action sequence and set piece kind of thing was when the Sentry is introduced. That whole, now granted, he's not fighting against like the Avengers with like Thor and shit, but that whole sequence of him just showing off like how, like he starts off with like fending off blows and then like, hey, get away from me. And then by the end of it, he's like doing all sorts of like throwing and catching them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, when he throws it back and then
he's so fast,
Walker
he goes
dives
there
in front
and
of him.
catches them again.
Then he grabs the shield, turns it into a taco. Bends Walker's shield.
But that whole sequence was cool.
Yeah, it was a cool, fun sequence, and the way that it was shot.
Yes.
Even before that, like, when they were dropping the box in, and they had it following the box all the way through. I thought that was a really cool sequence. Oh no, I'm sorry. I just saw Andor too. I mixed up a sequence from Andor with that. Because it was from the heist sequence in the 6th episode of Andor. That's what I'm thinking
We'll get to that.
But but how that whole sequence is shot, where it's just kind of swinging around of him just like deflecting.
There's like one point where like he threw somebody and he's so fast that he went to where he threw them and caught them.
Yeah.
You know, and he was just doing some crazy shit. There were some jokes about the blonde hair, and that was kind of funny. And then the whole sequence, the whole point where Valentina realizes, oh shit, maybe I don't control him at all.
Yeah, and before that,
why would I take orders from you?
Time
like,
when
oh, damn it.
Before that, when he touched Yelena, and she saw the memory of her her first tests in the Red Room, and it was her friend getting shot at a young age. And then Walker does it later, and it shows his broken marriage and his family falling apart. And so you kind of already got the hint of what he can do, like with people's minds. And that's something I want to talk about. So they had this. This is what I think makes this movie really good for me and really enjoyable and something unique for Marvel that we haven't seen in a while. it has its moments. Like when Bucky's introduced, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but the score and his design look and act like they're playing up like a Terminator 2 thing. Because like the music just has that heavy sound to it, like that Terminator sound. But like his sequence showing up was great. But like you have moments like that, and you have this big fight with the Sentry, but the biggest fight of the third act is inside his mind. And it's not a big action sequence. There is some action at the end of it, but majority of it is just character work. And it's so unique to a Marvel movie. And we're so used to the
Instead
CGI
of getting
fights.
the giant... Now, there's some CGI.
No, I'm saying there's sequences of really cool action that's really great. But I'm
most
just saying
of the stunts were practical. Most of the effects were practical.
That's what I mean. They understand for us to give a shit about this movie, to us to be excited about this movie, they're going to have to do something a little bit different. And to do that, you have a really cool character like the Sentry and the Void, that dynamic that's in the comic books where he has to fight his personalities, and that's his biggest enemy is himself.
Mm-hmm.
But you use that to your advantage, and you change perspective. And yes, you can have your cake and eat it too, because there's still action set pieces and cool trippy shit in this. But again, I would have never imagined in a movie called The Thunderbolts, which before I saw this movie, was explaining what's Thunderbolts to people, I'm like, it's Marvel Suicide Squad. It's their shadowy, weird task force that usually is villains that are doing, it's Suicide Squad.
Yeah, the first one was Baron Zemo as, I can't remember his character's name, but he was a different character. He was a hero. And it's Kurt Busiek and Mark Bagley were the first ones to do it. But that was the first Thunderbolts, is they took a bunch of villains and turned them into new characters who were heroes. Yeah.
I think it's also smart to bank this movie on Florence Pugh. She's a star. She's really great. She has an amazing cry face. Because you know what? When she cries in a movie, you feel it. You can't help but pout. The whole cast is great.
Everybody pulls their weight. Is the best thing I can say about the cast.
I don't think there's anybody that I don't think there's anybody that
nobody really takes the scenery. Nobody really. I'd say if there's anybody who's underrated, maybe Pullman, because he's not really like thought of as like the main cast, but he's a huge part of the movie, and he carries.
He
it.
is a very.
He carries
but
his
you
part.
also
his part.
He has the biggest emotional weight of the movie.
Right.
And again, he crushes it, man. And that whole sequence from him going to Sentry to the Void, and like, oh my god, dude, the Void's design is.
I really like
awesome.
that a lot, because
just the eyes.
That's the best you can do with what it is in the comics. Is literally a black.
And like you see, just like you could see like silver shading, just to like kind of.
Yeah, you could see. I thought it was really cool. There were a couple times where like he would turn his head and you would start to see
his nose and
start to see details of his face, and they would cut away before it got to and then there were moments where you didn't know if he was facing you or not.
But it kind of
but then the eyes,
it's just
like,
so cool of like how
they
something
did
so
they
simple
did it well.
can be so scary.
They did it well.
So spooky.
They did
like,
it really well. Yeah.
And and they said the director said that they got inspiration from this from the bombings in World War II of the shadow on the wall.
Yeah.
And like that, and I get why he went that way, because it invokes that imagery, and it's like, holy shit, he just turned these people into dust.
Well, as we find out later,
he doesn't. But that's what you think
scary,
is at that point as a viewer.
Almost takes Manhattan. I mean,
again, like
takes a big chunk of it.
I'll say it here. They make a reference to Sam Wilson trying to sue over the Avengers name.
Hang on.
But he couldn't be bothered to show up to New York when it's in total blackness.
Fair.
Where is this? Is this martial law, New York, from Born Again? Where are we?
Now,
fuckers, why do they have to put?
Yeah, exactly. Like, is there any reference to fucking the big black event? The big black event.
That's a website. go after the big black man.
No, but there's no reference to it like in Daredevil Born Again. Like when is Daredevil Born Again taking
I
place?
don't know. I'm
There's
sorry.
no
I don't wanna
reference.
derail it,
There's no
but-
reference during Daredevil Born Again. I get that. It's not about it, but there's no reference. There's no fucking newspaper in the background that says like, President Ross is the Hulk. Something.
At least this movie does it.
Right. Give me fucking something, Daredevil Born Again, or else I don't care that you're in the MCU. I don't fucking care. I really don't. Why should I?
Back to Bob.
Anyway.
Here's what I'm wondering. So, no, because when we talk about these movies, it's like we have to talk about them as TV shows. So what comes next? What's after the Thunderbolts? As the big twist, the new Avengers. What we're gonna do with that? Which I think is a really funny bait and switch by Marvel as well.
Oh yeah.
Because for years we've been speculating who's gonna be the new Avengers, and then they just do it as a fucking joke in this movie to be like, oh, here's the new Avengers now. Because they know none of this shit matters because we're going to blow it up after Secret Wars.
Teflon Val. I loved how she just like faked him out. Like, don't. Oh, hey,
Look,
are we
it's
live?
a new team.
Hey, here's the new Avengers. Like, wow. Julia Louis-Dreyfus still kills it.
Gosh, she's so great in this movie. Because you know what? Every time there's a sequence, she does something, and I just think like this bitch is what I'm thinking in my head. Because she's the villain.
Nope.
She's good at her job in this. She's great. Again, like you said, everybody pulls their weight. Everybody is great in their role.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's really funny, though, that the new Avengers is made up of 3 super soldiers. A normal person, Yelena, a person that can phase, but unless she got a really good speaker, then she can't do shit. Not a great team.
So...
Which
so
honestly, that's how you'd beat a symbiote too. You just have a really big speaker.
We get to the end of the movie. Again, I think everything was done really, really well. Wendell Pierce as the senator.
Oh yeah, he was funny.
That whole sequence was pretty funny where he's talking to Bucky. Like, we're not covert in the dark shadows.
Yeah.
Like you folks.
The scene. Another thing when Bucky grabs the fucking rope and wraps it around his fist and punches it in the ground and flips that car.
There's a couple.
What? It's a comic book movie.
I'm aware, but look, that would rip him in half. If it somehow stayed connected to his tissue,
oh my god,
it would rip him in half.
Also, Bob could fly and turn into the void and make
void.
people go inside his head. But we're gonna complain about him flipping a car.
No, don't even get me started on him like flinging the truck off those people. Like, whoa, did you see that?
I did it with one arm. I don't need a shield.
What happened to your fingers right here? Where those are gone.
You got a problem with the Winter Soldier?
I do fucking have a problem.
What
with
is
the
his
Winter
fucking wig at the end of this? Look at the post-credit scene.
So we get to the end of the movie. The post-credit scene,
ends-
first one, is the Wheaties
jokey
box,
one.
which is hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, hey, see,
That's funny as shit.
Right, Guardian's like, I'm on this scene.
But then the second one, I thought it was okay. Now, if I'm reading this right, what they said to them is, "Hey, the audience has to the designers of that scene, the production design team. Hey, what we just saw was them ragged as fuck." After fighting the void, they look like shit. They're beat up. Their hair is messy. They have no real costumes, whatever. What we want to see now is 14 months later, so a year or so later,
over a year.
right? What we want to see now is we want to see them as if they've been with a marketing team for a year.
And his hair's all feathered.
All of their hair.
Their hair looks great. And
all of their hair. Ghost's hair looked
Yeah,
fantastic, right? And he's got that fucking beret.
Yeah.
But also his shield was still a taco.
I know.
I
don't know. Also,
that's how I took it.
there's-
I noticed that too, that his hair was like, what the fuck? But I think it was just,
Yeah.
I think they were trying to be like, dude, he's got to be teased up every
gotta have
time. Every time he's
beautiful
on.
hair.
Yeah. But I liked the
so,
big red star in his costume.
I also think I saw a rumor that this sequence was shot like 4 weeks before the movie was coming out.
I don't know.
So to tie it close, maybe to add a little bit more context to what they were going to do with Fantastic Four, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that was the big tease at the end of this. They saw a ship coming from an outer dimensional ship coming in. It has the 4 on it. So it's what we expected. Galactus is going to eat that universe and they're going to escape
or something.
And they're going to come into the main timeline.
I think so. As far
How
as I
is that
know,
going to happen in the
next
X-Men
is
too?
Fantastic Four.
With Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen and all
Next
those
is
fucks?
Fantastic Four.
Yes.
After that is Doomsday.
Yes.
Then Brand New Day. Then Secret Wars. Those are the movies upcoming in the MCU. And I just have to ask you,
Spider-Man's just existing so Sony can keep the character.
probably.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man's going to be it's going to be more of its own thing.
I think Spider-Man is going to be either more of its own thing, or they're going to hijack it like Civil War style, and be like, yeah, or even Ragnarok style.
I don't know. We'll see. Because Daredevil ends at some point in there, so then we had to also factor in where does that put Matt? Does Matt join Spider-Man in that Spider-Man movie? What happens? I don't know.
You got to give me something, or else again this Born Again, even though it's been awesome,
I don't know, but
is just the first three Netflix seasons rolled into one fucking big giant season of something else. I already seen it, been there, done that, man. Thank you. Give me something new. And I can't tell you, and I don't know why we're talking about this right now, but I can't tell you how disappointing it is that you give me all of that for Bullseye to get out of jail, and he ends up getting behind a sniper rifle.
Okay, we're not talking about this. My point is,
boo. Okay,
but didn't this movie get you excited for Fantastic Four? Or just a little
chubs. I got chubs. You know what I mean?
Okay. I also heard a rumor that this was shot on the set of
In Kevin's basement.
Of the set of Doomsday.
You told me that.
I don't know if that's true or not. Again, rumor mill. But
I forgot about that.
overall, no. I can't say this enough. How surprised I was by this movie.
This is
really
not a Guardians of the Galaxy style. Like
No.
where nobody knows who these guys are, and it turns out to be like one of the best movies in the MCU, like ever. This is a great MCU movie with characters that you've seen them in many other projects. Couple different ones, a myriad of projects, really. I mean, numerous.
A marvelous
different-
myriad of projects,
a
you
plethora,
would say.
a plethora,
Yes.
of
A plethora.
a vast spectrum.
All right, we fucking got it, man. Get to your point. Just
A cornucopia.
just a mountain. A literal mountain of shit.
Well, you got Ant-Man, you got Captain America, you got Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you got
Time out. Stop. If you're going to do it, I got to get the soundboard.
yeah. No, we're not.
Exactly.
What? No, but we're good. I liked it a lot. I was hoping to get a glimpse. I know we're gonna get a glimpse of Downey as Doom in Fantastic Four credits post scene, whatever.
Probably.
Been rumors, yes.
Maybe yes.
I
maybe
would hope that we get some sort of something for Doom before Doomsday.
July is going to slap for movies, though.
And Superman.
That's what I'm saying. Superman and Fantastic Four.
It's not the same weekend.
No, they're a week. There's 2 weeks apart. So
I tell you what,
Superman
though,
is
I would have
July-
done a doubleheader with you.
Yeah, you would. Speaking of doubleheader, next topic. We're going to wrap up our Andor coverage from the previous episode. We did episodes 4 and 5. We're here to do episode 6.
Mhm.
I recently I finished it this morning
It's fucking about time.
before we went to go see Thunderbolts.
I was building the brick built
Fucking
Star Wars
Lego.
logo while I was watching episode 6.
Did you finish it? Yeah, you did.
Finish him. Finish it. Finish it.
See, why do
You
you
burnt the fucking
now
money.
you're just doing your own soundboard.
Yeah, maybe I am.
All right, so
Should we tell them how we went and saw Frank Kelly? I know it was really fun.
at the end of the show, can we talk about Andor? Do you
Sure.
want to talk about it? You mentioned you wanted to talk about it.
No, I want to talk about how just like they kind of got rid of Taskmaster, there's no reason to get rid of that character Cinta. Especially after they've gotten
a
back
silly
together.
way for that to end too.
Don't give me
because-
that shit, writers.
Oh, some random dude got into a scuffle with him and he shot her.
Ooh, this makes no sense for a couple reasons. One, the kid knows that dude is clearly up for revolution from the meeting. He was the dude who flipped him off, however that,
Yeah.
So why is he fucking with him? Why isn't he going, hey man, we're doing exactly what you wanted to, but you got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Why is he panicking like a dumbass?
Yeah.
Okay? And then it makes no sense. It's lazy writing to me. It's, ooh, shocking, is it an audience? And like, no, fuck you. It's not shocking. It's lazy writing. Fuck you.
Wow.
Other than that, I absolutely loved that all throughout the episode, I'm sitting there going, they're going to have to kill Bix. And then the end of it.
Oh, the very end of
I'm like,
episode
oh shit,
6.
Bix has gone off the deep end. And then Cassian joins her, and I'm like,
And it blows up behind him, and you're like, yeah.
because he's like, fuck you all. I'm protecting my woman, dude.
Yeah.
Or you know what? He's saying, fuck you all. My woman's in trouble and she needs my help.
This is the only way she can get past this, and I hate the
She
Empire.
doesn't have to protect his woman, not his woman.
Get your hands off my woman.
Get your hands off my woman. We better beat up a dough. Get to beat up a dough.
There's a song with the
Something
darkness.
down about you. Oh.
I love the shot leading into the heist where I was mentioning it earlier that I was confusing with Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
But it was when there's
Butthole.
I love the camera work of following it through the conveyor into the other side and then moving it around,
This
I
is
love that.
This
I
is
love
the.
I'm a sucker for a heist.
This is the second of the 3 episode blocks that has managed to give me 3 multiple storylines converging and finishing at the same time in one episode and showing me how it happens all
What did you think of
circular
yeah.
and hang on, no, I was gonna go somewhere with that. Shit, shut up.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, it's not your fault. Not your fault. No, I'm the third episode, or rather episode 6, because I'm thinking of it as the third of this block. Notice Saw Gerrera and those guys don't appear anywhere, and honestly, I liked that because it's like, what happened? I mean, they showed him breathing in the gas.
Yeah, so he just gassed this kid. So.
No, I don't think so. I think he was, helping him become a nut like Saw Gerrera. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Breathe it in. Ha 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 ha. You gotta get fucked up. You gotta get fucked up. This shit will fuck you up. I'm a cloud. Listen to my lungs. You should listen to this too. Watch me blow my candles out. Happy birthday. Where's my oxygen?
I agree. It is nice because I fucking hate that character. I'll be honest. I don't get the appeal. Saw? Ugh.
Whatever you want to,
kidding.
whatever you want to think of the character, I really liked the sequences in the first 2 episodes where they were, dealing with all that because it's an interesting. This show is showing us a part of the rebellion that we never ever even thought about or wanted to concern ourselves with, which is the dark underside of it, which is, your rebellions. So, okay, Saw is like with his group, and then there's another group of guys, and then there's another, and they're all working for the rebellion, but they're also working for their own ends too.
Yeah.
And who's to say that some of them aren't just in it to fucking make a buck?
They're not united together. They're
Right.
they're all out for their own means, and they all hate the Empire. That's the only thing they have in common.
I appreciate Saw Gerrera's character ever since we first saw him in Rogue One.
but I just don't care about him as much as the other characters. I'm sorry.
I appreciate him because he is showing the kind of fanaticism that causes like this draw.
Yeah.
The kind of charismatic fanatic leaders like Saw Gerrera that come out of these kinds of these major events that happen, to people and whatnot.
Were they big black events? You bet your ass.
Is that what they were going to call it? So back in the day, there was I think it was eight to 10 books back in the day in 1986. Marvel decided to create a new universe of superheroes, and they called it the New Universe. And Starbrand has since made his way into the regular Marvel comics, and I think one other, I think Night Mask, I think is also.
Yeah.
But the point of all this is that in every book, okay, there were two rules. One of them was that every book would take place 28 days after the previous. Okay?
Okay.
So you would never have a villain popping out at the end of the episode to be continued, and then the next issue opens with the villain popping out, right? You'd never have that. So there was that, and then everybody got their powers somehow after what was described as, in the comics, the White Event. I'm not kidding. Look it up. I'm not kidding.
Oh, I believe you.
I'm just saying that could be, that could be how people refer to it as the Big Black Event, is because everything went to shadow.
Sure did. That's when the Empire was taking over the galaxy.
That's when the wrong show. That's when the Empire
I'm trying to tie
was
it back to the
looking
show we're talking
to,
about, but
and the hobbits were running through the den and the glen and the glen.
Thank you.
and
Thank
the
you.
dale.
Thank you. Thank you. What did you think of the scene where she's trying to get the fucking bug out of the? I was like, God, talk about stress. I'm like, it's stuck. Well, what do you mean?
Both of them, like,
Stuck. And him trying to leave, and she's like, stay here.
And
you
look,
stupid shit.
Krennic used the exact argument that I did last week when we were talking about, I know you don't like to hear this, but the insurrectionists in, Iraq and stuff felt like they were akin to American revolutionaries in the 1700s, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, 18th century, okay? And he even touched on that. He was like, oh, one man's rebel is another man's terrorist.
Yeah.
I fucking love Ben Mendelsohn's voice.
Yes.
I always forget how much range there is to it and how deep it goes, just because he doesn't look like it. You know what I mean? But when he really gets...
he was a Skrull.
Shut the fuck up.
200 episodes.
I just really appreciate that he's in this show, because he brings that kind of gravitas to the role and whatnot. You fucking dick. So next week will be another 3 episode block.
9 or is it 12? I think
It's 12. So we got 2 more weeks. Every week they're gonna do 3.
Crazy.
I like it. I think
do too. It
it's
keeps
like
driving
it's
the
like
story
a season
forward.
each time.
And then if you really wanted to, you could just watch Andor. And then watch
Rogue One.
Star Wars. Or no, I said Andor, didn't I? I meant to say Rogue One. You watch Rogue One and then you can watch Star Wars. That's the thing. Should you watch Rogue One and then A New Hope? Or should you watch the prequels, then Andor, then Rogue One, then A New Hope?
I think you should probably find a job if you have this much time on your hands. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.